You know that feeling, right? You're just going about your day, maybe scrolling through a playlist, and bam, you hear it. Just a few notes from a game you haven't touched in, what, a decade? And in an instant, you are right back there. So, yeah, let's get into what that's all about. It's so much more than just a song. It's this jolt, an immediate rush of memories, of feelings. So, what is this magic really? How does a simple melody get so wrapped up in who we are? And why does it stick with us for so long? That's what we're going to unpack. And I love this idea from our sources. These melodies, they're not just soundtracks. They are, in fact, emotional time machines. They have this incredible power to just zip us right back to these really important, formative moments in our lives, letting us feel all that wonder and joy all over again. Now, as much as it feels like straight-up magic, believe it or not, there's actually some pretty cool neuroscience going on here. So let's pull back the curtain for a second and see how our brains literally turn these tunes into memories that last a lifetime. It's actually a pretty simple but really powerful chain reaction. See, when you hear a tune you know and love from your past, your brain gets a hit of dopamine, the feel-good chemical, the reward center. And that chemical rush creates this super strong connection between the sound, that good feeling, and the memory you were making at the time. It's literally why hearing a theme song can make your whole day better. To really get this, though, we have to look at how it works in the real world. So we're going to explore the work of two absolute legends, true masters of melody, who basically defined entire genres: Koichi Sugiyama, the musical genius behind Dragon Quest, and Koji Kondo, the man who gave The Legend of Zelda its unforgettable voice. All right, let's kick things off with Koichi Sugiyama and Dragon Quest. His whole approach wasn't just to write some background music. No, he was composing these huge orchestral anthems that made you feel the size of the adventure before you'd even taken a single step. And this is the part you gotta understand. Sugiyama was a total pioneer. He was one of the very first people to say, hey, let's use a full live symphony orchestra for a video game. This gave his music a warmth and a depth, an emotional scale that was just, it was unheard of back then. A real game changer. So what's his secret sauce? What makes his music so recognizable? Well, it kind of boils down to three key things. First, that full orchestral power we just talked about. Second, he loves to use a march tempo, which gives you that feeling of, okay, let's go, we're stepping out into a huge world. And last, his training was in classical music, so he knew how to write these amazing, structured melodies that just get stuck in your head forever. Okay, now check this out, because this is where you can really see his genius at work. Look at the difference between two of his best overtures. Dragon Quest III, that's all about one legendary hero. The music is majestic, determined. It starts with this huge, regal fanfare that makes you feel like you have a destiny. But then you get Dragon Quest IV. It's a story about a bunch of different people coming together. The music is lively, almost folksy, and starts with this charming music box sound. It's all about community. See? Two games, two totally different feelings. And he tells you the whole story before you even press start. And this quote about Dragon Quest III just nails it. The music is the hero's journey. That incredible fanfare, that's the call to adventure. The marching beat is the quest itself. And that soaring melody at the end, that's your glorious victory. The music doesn't just go along with the story. In a way, it is the story. Okay, so we've had the epic, sweeping orchestra. Now let's completely shift gears and go from the epic to the personal. With Ocarina of Time, the composer Koji Kondo did something totally different. Here, the music wasn't just something you listened to. It was a language you actually had to speak. This concept is just so cool. The music in Ocarina of Time is what's called diegetic, which is just a fancy way of saying it actually exists inside the game's world. You learn the songs from other characters, you physically play them on your ocarina, and the world itself reacts to your music. It completely blurs the line between you, the player, and Link, the hero. You don't just hear the magic, you perform it. Think about the first few songs you learn. They're all about connection. Zelda's Lullaby connects you to Hyrule's royal history. Epona's song isn't about world-saving power. It's about the simple, pure friendship you have with your horse. And Saria's song, that one's a direct phone line to your best friend. A little piece of music that keeps you from feeling alone. Each one is an emotional anchor. And then, the game really ups the ante. It starts giving you control over nature itself. The Song of Storms isn't a polite request for rain. You play it and you unleash a tempest. The Sun Song lets you, a kid, literally change night to day. The music becomes this incredible tool of power that you hold in your hands. But of course, there's the big one, the Song of Time. And I love how this is described. Playing it doesn't just feel like playing a song, it feels like you're intonating a fundamental law of the universe. I mean, wow, this is the music of destiny. It opens the door that changes everything and splits time in two. It's a melody that carries this immense, world-changing weight. So when you put them right next to each other, you can see it so clearly. Two brilliant composers with two totally different philosophies. On one side, you have Sugiyama's grand orchestra for Dragon Quest, which paints this epic picture for you to be a part of. And on the other, you have Kondo's lone ocarina for Zelda, which gives you this intimate, personal tool to change the world yourself. The epic versus the intimate. So, after diving into these two amazing examples, let's zoom back out. Why does this music stick around? What is it about these particular melodies that makes them endure for decades and decades? Well, it's because they've become so much more than just game music. They're cultural touchstones. I mean, think about it. A parent who first felt that heroic swell from the Dragon Quest overture as a kid can now share that exact same feeling with their own child. It's a bridge between generations, built out of a single, timeless melody. Which, brings us all the way back to the main question. We can analyze the dopamine and the game design all day long, but at the end of it all, why does this music still have such a powerful grip on our hearts after all this time? And I think this quote just says it all perfectly. It's because these songs aren't just collections of notes. They're bookmarks in the story of our own lives. Each melody marks a specific time, a feeling, a challenge we overcame. And they're always there, ready to flip open that page and take us right back to the moments that helped shape who we are today.